So, listen, listen. Wait a minute. Not Captain, not Chief Secretary felt the pissed off, bitch. Y'all didn't realize what she was doing. Y'all didn't realize that that little motherfucker right there, she can't stop talking. She can't stop. She can't if she wanted. She cannot, even if she wants to. She has to. She has intrusive thoughts, my nigga. That motherfucker right there can't stop talking if she wanted to. And she tries to, I think she tries to save herself by acting like she's speaking through a tarot reading so that she can waver on if she's cool. That motherfucker is Machiavellian. That's that Mars and that Venus and Gemini in the 12th house. That motherfucker is Machiavellian, plays both sides, and tries to be cool. That's that North Node in Libra and that South Node in Aries. That's the very thing that you clocking is because you act just like that too. Oh, bitch. And you ain't gonna be able to get rid of that motherfucker. That motherfucker is gonna tell your business. Nigga, oh my God, I was going to share her video. And then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because that motherfucker. Then it's funny because after I thought that, and I think an hour later, and I was interacting with another motherfucker. This motherfucker post extremely shame someone if they try to. So that's what y'all been doing. So he go and tell his own business too. That's how you were able to get people to transfer their energy, and that's why you mad, and that's why it doesn't work because you can't shame certain people. See, the issue is that when you get people, when you come out of your body trying to be cool with people and you do shit that you ultimately are ashamed of, then people can use shaming tactics on you. They can project shame and insults onto you and even try to assign it that someone else is doing that to you. But if you let people talk, they'll tell it on themselves. They will tell it on themselves. Listen, y'all really do need to book with your girl because if you know the individuals I'm talking about, these motherfuckers can't shut the fuck up. They cannot. They tell it on themselves. You don't have to wait for them to tell it on themselves. They tell it on themselves immediately. I told me a motherfucker, I said, oh, so you just gonna blatantly be disrespectful. You just gonna blatantly tell me what the fuck you gonna do with my energy. Now your ass is over there looking stupid than a motherfucker, ain't you? You back to recording in the car. Cause it's hotter than a bitch in that motherfucker. Ain't no lights in that bitch. Probably is some today, maybe. Yeah, I probably got some janky ass shit. Because I do know in the hood that there were people who would hook folks up to their finesse electric after dark. But you know what? I ain't even mad about it, to be quite honest with you. If I ever saw that, I'm like, get it how you live, sweetie. Shit, you shouldn't even be that poor anyway. Nobody should be that poor. There's enough resources on earth. No one should be living in poverty. Ever since the West ruled and trying to stay in rulership, other people have to suffer in order for others to live in leisure. And leisure, they done leisured themselves into infertility. Now, how you do that? You leisured yourself into nationwide, countrywide. Nationwide is not on your side, bitch. You leisured yourself into nationwide infertility off of the backs of indigenous people around the world, even your own ancestors. That's crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that this is like I can tell that this is eclipse season coming up. And then a lot of y'all are just snitching on yourself. You got a lot of unprocessed subconscious bullshit that's coming up. And if you are smart about it right now, you will go and pay attention to the things that you let slip out of your mouth. And when they're called out, you will start to do a deep dive within yourself and start noticing, wait a minute, even some of the most unfair circumstances that I have attracted into my life, I am at least now able to see what's attracting them that's unfair to me. Because once you get to the root of what is causing that reoccurring types of connections, maybe with different people, but the same thing, then you have a greater command on removing those influences from your life because you understand from whence they're coming from within yourself. But when you lie to yourself, like I'm trying to figure out how is the law of assumption going to work when you're not honest, at least with yourself, not about your circumstances, but when you're honest with yourself, you can at least visualize how the things you want, you deserve it. Because you start to pull back all of the untruths and you start to challenge the things that you used to believe about yourself that are limiting. But it all starts with being honest with yourself, honest with self. Then you start to dissect the reason why you may not like the fact that you have brown eyes or your skin is dark or you have 4C. You start questioning what was the programming that had me believe that my features and who I am as I was born out as is not considered to be the greatest thing. Have I bought into a program? Because I feel as though you really do need to clear your subconscious in order for the law of assumption to work effectively. Because if not, you're going to do things that are subconsciously driven, even if you're not consciously aware of why you feel inclined to behave or act a certain way or even respond a certain way. A lot of that can be found in the subconscious storage of your life experience. And without examining yourself, you're likely going to sabotage anything that's coming for you to provide you this sense of a new life, new friendships. I just had a message today. I'm going to ask my person if it's okay for me to share it. But I worked with a young lady over this summer, 15 years old, Capricorn, and she moved away from Memphis to go to school elsewhere. And this year she has friends. Everything I told her came to pass. And me and her mom's a Libra. I find a lot of that. I find a lot of Aries parents or Libra parents or grandparents. In my case, I had an Aries son grandmother at Libra. Well, she had Libra moon. Have a lot of Capricorn or siblings or sisters and brothers. It's interesting how the cardinal signs run. And Cancer have cardinal parents have some cardinal children. It's crazy. But anyway, she was just crying at the football game because it's like, wow, my baby went from being very shy and maybe around the wrong crowd for considering how she's raised and her home environment to now meeting people who have the same background as she does. And she doesn't have to be, I think she was going to Whitehaven High. She doesn't have to be like around these versions of black people that were created through poverty And instead she gets to be who she is, quirky, the awkward black girl, the cool black girl, the tech whiz black girl, and the pretty, like pretty, looks like a model but isn't ghetto, so she's not being picked on for not being ghetto, like black girl that's acts her age. And she gets to be around other black girls that are like her, and she has friends. And I just love that, because in order for me to work with the young lady, we had to get past all of the facade for her to realize, no, me as my natural self, I'm cool as shit. I'm worthy of love. I am love. The things that she felt awkward about, we worked on those things. Right? You got to get this shit together. If you're already a grown ass person, you got to get into the inner child within you and get to that 13, 14, and 15-year-old and let them know that they are okay. There's nothing awkward about you, weird about them. You got to let them know so that you're not in your big age, at your big age, overcompensating, or worse, operating from a level of immaturity which denotes arrested development in childhood. Some of you are so prideful that you don't have to get on the internet to tell people about your family life. It's apparent from looking at you where the neglect was. So then you lie in order to not be embarrassed, and then you further neglect your inner child by putting yourself in positions that you and your inner child and your insecurities are exploited. Or worse, you become an abusive person and you try to level the field by exploiting someone else's perceived weaknesses. And it never works out. And those are the such type of people that I'm talking about, who've been trying to magically harvest from other folks. This shit is blowing up in their own faces, and they deserve it. They have been warned over and over, and I think that it's cool that it's a nice, painful, slow death to their influence on the collective. And I love the fact that they can't control themselves. They cannot control themselves in a sense of being able to expose who they are. It should be apparent to everyone who's been under the influence of these individuals that you fucked up. You should be able to see now, through the hard work of men and women such as myself, having these motherfuckers expose themselves. You should be able to see for yourself that you're dealing with someone who has severe dissociative disorders and personality disorders, and that you're dealing with the inner child that doesn't understand that what they're doing is inappropriate, while the adult self is knowing exactly what they're doing and trying to shortcut the ascension experience by acting and playing the part of a spiritualist, something that they're not. And I'm hoping that this sort of persona and caricature is eradicated from the earth, or the new earth. I really do. It's worth it to me. It's worth it on my life, on God. That kind of persona, with especially amongst a people such as black people, is shunned out of society. That Machiavellian energy has been the single most destructive thing to black people. That ideology is so harmful when politically you have no power. So that's really what I came here to say to the one or two people who care about it. And I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to be posting some stuff on my feed. I'll be working tonight, so if you are looking to book anonymously, you can hit me up at work. Or you can check the description box for my direct contact information, and we can book offline. It's just really up to you. But I am so happy to see the manifestation of very hard work, to where people now have to be real about who they are. They don't have to do any damn thing. They can eat, sleep, and shit for all I care. But they can't seem to shake this force where they have to express the truth, and they don't have the awareness to know that it's against themselves, especially if they're in a position of manipulation of the masses. Okay, I am thrilled to see it. Happy Venus Day. Y'all have a good one.